Now from the Weather Tracker TV Storm Studios, this is your weather today. Here's Chief Meteorologist William Cole.
All right, well, TGIF and happy Friday, everybody. Here we go now, heading right on into the weekend. And I tell you what, it's going to be a real whipsaw forecast today compared to the weekend. Of course, today we're going to be very warm. In fact, daytime high right around 78 in the Metroplex. Our record high for today's date, by the way, is 80. So we're going to be in the ballpark of a record high. Pretty breezy. Morning clouds give way to some afternoon sun. But as we get into tomorrow, we're still tracking that cold front. We'll be arriving as we go through the day with dropping temperatures. And in fact, we will be chilling down heading into the weekend. More on that coming up. Maybe even a couple rumbles of thunder around the area tomorrow as well. This is where we started the morning. These were your actual morning lows. And it was not as chilly out the door this morning. The low-grade cloud cover overnight, the stratus cloud cover, and again, that southerly breeze that stayed up even through the overnight hours really limited those overnight lows. So a lot of locations you can see very close to 60 out the door this morning. In fact, DFW only down to 62, and even Dallas Love Field, almost a balmy, by December standards, a balmy 63, again out the door earlier this morning. So a couple things I'm watching as we go through the day today. The radar is completely quiet in North Texas, right? Nothing going on this morning, this afternoon. I am watching this little black line, the dry line. Of course, through the spring, we talk about the dry line oh so often as kind of a focus of storms or even severe weather. Not so much the case today, but it is separating this pretty humid air mass that we have in place out there this morning from some really dry desert air behind it. It's going to move into our western counties, and behind the dry line as we go through the afternoon, there may be some increasing fire danger in our western counties. We're going to track that carefully, and I'll show you that coming up momentarily. But otherwise, truly, as we begin to look off to the north, these are our weather makers here. Again, you can see all the active weather off to the north. Not so much that all that active weather is going to come down in our direction, but we do have one kind of lead storm system, if you will, area spin. It's going to be pushing through the Great Lakes region. It's what's eventually going to drag our cold front down into the area. In fact, as we go through the day, it may also be the focus of a couple thunderstorms, I think mainly northeast of North Texas. And then as a secondary piece of energy, you see this other counterclockwise spin area. As that comes out, it'll help continue to nudge the front through the area. So a lot of dynamics, a lot of moving pieces of the weather puzzle today, tomorrow, and again, basically all that matters for you is that, again, we'll have that cold front coming through tomorrow. Again, as it comes through, temperatures will be dropping. And again, we're going to have a couple opportunities of thunderstorms, we're going to say in the area, maybe not even necessarily in North Texas, and again, we'll highlight those coming up. So there goes the one storm, again, off to the north. You can see it basically curling up there, but then look at this big, deep storm trough. This looks pretty impressive here. Again, this comes down into the southern plains. That's what nudges the front through. I tell you, if it was any other time of year, especially April or May, that storm system coming through like that, that would have been a big trigger for active weather, maybe even an outbreak. Obviously, we're in December, so again, nothing like that in the forecast whatsoever. But what is in the forecast behind the dry line? Look at this here. This is going to be some increasing fire danger with plummeting relative humidity, and again, a pretty breezy wind as well behind that dry line. So again, for our friends out west, we'll track that carefully with you as we go through the day. Then we have two risks of severe weather. So I want to break these down. Number one for today, even though our far northeastern counties, again, you can see Hopkins, Delta, even Lamar County, part of Fannin County included in that as well. I think the bulk of the active weather, I think it's even going to be relatively limited, is going to be well off to our northeast. Arklatex or north, we'll track that carefully. But again, since the Storm Prediction Center did highlight that, I did want to talk about that. And then for tomorrow, there will be a few thunderstorms with the newest data coming in. I think that develop in our southeastern counties. There's today, you see nothing really materializes whatsoever. But tomorrow, again, you can see from Navarro County, Henderson, maybe even Anderson County. That'll be later in the day as the front comes through. There may be a couple thunderstorms down there. Again, quarter-size hail, winds to 60 miles per hour. Can't be ruled out, but again, we'll track that with you carefully tomorrow as well. Otherwise, today, 70s to right around 80 in our western counties. Again, winds remain fairly breezy, but not as gusty as yesterday. Winds generally 25 to right around 30 miles per hour. Friday evening plans, again, here in the Metroplex, look good. From the 70s down into the 60s. In fact, almost fairly comfortable, but still breezy. 40s and 50s overnight temperatures here. Again, here comes the front as we go through the day tomorrow. Again, temperatures dropping into the 50s, and that will be the case even into Sunday as well. Highs on Sunday in the 50s.